Cool. Hi, my name is Sohaib. I directed and animated for the film Hubris. It is about a scientist trying to cure himself of some incurable disease.
And if you had to pick like 3 words to describe it, what
Three
can audiences
words.
expect?
Somewhat contemplative, that word. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's all I can really think of off the top of my head, I'll be honest. Yeah.
And do you mostly work in like animated media?
Yes, I'm studying animation. I'm studying to be a 3D animator and directing. Of course, the university I go to is specifically for like visual effects and 3D animation. So that's kind of why I made the film. It was part of my group projects. Yeah, so I mainly do like animation, but of course, like part of making this film, you had to go into like writing, storyboarding, obviously directing, that kind of stuff. And yeah, which meant like during the process, everyone in the group had to dip into a lot of different areas. So like we had some people, obviously you can't film in a physical set. So we had one of the people, the lead artist, an environment artist, Leona. She was making the environment for it, and she spent a while like modeling and texturing by hand the entire environment. It was beautiful, like some of the best like stuff I've seen, you know. And yeah, so yeah, I do animation. Everyone in my group does animation, but part of making this film, we had to really dip into a lot of different things for that, which was really fun.
Did you write for it as well?
Yes, we kind of all got in a group and came up with a story together, and then I did the actual like writing for like scene by scene, and then another member of my group, Yusuf, he created all the storyboards for it, and he's an amazing storyboard artist. And yeah, so part of that was like we all got in a group, decided, what do we want to make, what kind of vibe do we want it to have. We decided on that. I just wrote a rough script. Obviously, there's no dialogue, so it's all stage direction. My storyboard artist got it all out, and then we moved on to animating.
And out of all the stories that you guys could have written, why do you think you landed on this one?
Partly because of the inspirations. So it's partly inspired by 3 different things. For one, the most obvious one is another animated series you might be probably are familiar with, Invincible. There's one specific scene in it. Now, I haven't actually seen Invincible. This was suggested by 2 other people in the group, where essentially in the scene, this one guy like wakes up after like switching bodies and was like, wait, am I the real one? I think that was the line that it was. I forget the exact one, and if anyone in my group sees this, they're gonna kill me. But yeah, that was one of the things where we were like really drawn to that idea. But then I was very specifically inspired by, are you familiar with the Wolfenstein games? Well, it's a game series, and in this series there is, in one of the games, there's this one character. She's a scientist, and one part of her character is that she doesn't sleep. And she goes through this entire rant about how when I sleep, when I wake up, am I me, or am I just like a copy of me? That's kind of what it boils down to. She's essentially, it's a very specific philosophical question on the continuity of self, where when you sleep or when you lose consciousness in some way, are you functionally dead? And when you come back, is that the real you? And that was kind of what we had a bit of like a moment. We were like, that's a really freaky idea. What if we put that into a film? Why not? So yeah, that's kind of where we got to. It was either that or robots.
What can they expect from yours?
What's it called? I'll say it's somewhat like subtle. There's no dialogue in it, none at all. It's all just like acting-based storytelling. And so I'll say maybe just pay attention to details and try to get the full picture. Try to really interpret specifically what the character is doing, because that's where most of it's going to come from. It's not going to be so much. It's going to be more so show, not tell. That's kind of the approach that we went for. So just like really focus in on what is happening, I think is the only thing I can really say.